Hello, my name is Chris and this is my vlog about being transgender. I think the last update I made was a few months ago when I was thinking about getting back on testosterone. I did do that, and I also just got top surgery. So this is my first vlog video, what have you, post top surgery. I wanted to talk a little bit about what the experience has been like getting top surgery, like the day of, and just really leading up to it. I'd like to do a video about navigating health insurance and all of that and the consultation process. I'm a little out of it still, so I'm gonna put something up about that for those who need that resource. But really today I just wanted to talk about the actual day of the surgery. So it actually took me a while to get around to making this video because I supremely underestimated how much I would be spending, how much time I would be spending recovering just from the surgery itself, let alone healing. Like, I had the surgery on Monday and it's now Sunday, so it's almost been a week, and now I'm starting to feel human again. The first few days after surgery, I was sleeping most of the day. Like, there were a few hours that I was even awake, per day. I woke up to take my Vicodin and, sit on the couch for a little bit, watch a few episodes of She-Ra and go back to sleep. And the painkillers work, don't get me wrong, like I'm not in any tremendous pain. It's kind of just more an exhaustion, definitely a lot of tightness around here. I saw a lot of guys talking about how tight it feels, and that's really an accurate descriptor. I'm pretty much hunched over like all the time. Like I can tell I'm getting low on my medicine because I'm just like walking around hunched over, like clutching my chest because it's so like tight and like sore. But it's not excruciating. It's definitely not the worst experience I've ever had. Just a lot of sleeping. So make sure that, if this is a procedure you're going to go ahead with, you give yourself plenty of time for sleeping and rest, and have people around to help you out. I'm lucky to have one of my new partners out here visiting me and Roy, my primary, to help take care of me. So I've been pretty much doted on hand and foot for the past week, which is like amazing. I'm very blessed to be so loved. But don't underestimate your needs recovering from surgery. That's like the biggest takeaway for the first week, is that you need help. You're gonna need help doing things like putting on, a long, like a button-up shirt. Like they even say just to wear button-up shirts. This is like the first day I've really worn a t-shirt, and was able to get it on, and that was like with some like tremendous effort. So I have been on testosterone since June, which is about 5 months ago. It's been great. All of the same feelings that I got in my prior videos, I actually watched through them recently about, feeling happier and more in touch with myself, is pretty accurate. As of this video, I'm about 2 weeks off to accommodate the surgery, so I should be getting back on tomorrow, if not Wednesday. I'm not sure if my surgeon wants me to get back on a Wednesday regimen, or if I could just go ahead and start on a Monday regimen, or what. I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm going to be getting back on it really soon here, which is exciting because I feel really shitty without it. So just to recap the surgery itself, on Monday I had the surgery, and on Sunday night is when really the process started. So I wasn't allowed to eat anything after midnight, eat or drink anything, not even water, because of you're getting put under anesthesia and they don't want you to throw up anything. I believe you have a breathing tube, in fact, in your throat, so that would make it very difficult. So I was not able to eat, and Monday morning rolled around, it got to be like 10 o'clock, and I was hangry. Like, I was very hungry, and that kind of sucked. But, you have to do it. So we drove to the hospital. I had my surgery with Dr. Melissa Johnson at Pioneer Valley Plastic Surgery. I'll put a link in the description, which is great for any New Englanders, people in the northeast part of the United States, to consider her. I really, really enjoyed working with her. I think the results will be really the most compelling, argument as to why to go to her, but I have supremely enjoyed working with her until now. I liked the staff at the hospital. Everybody was kind. We got there at about 11:20 or so. We were supposed to check in at 11:30. So I did that, and then everything happened really fast. Like, the surgery was scheduled for 1, and I thought that, oh, 11:30, I'm just going to be sitting around waiting. Not at all. Like, they checked me into my room right away. They took all these measurements on me and stuff. You know, they made me repeat, like, what procedure I was having to make sure that, like, I was doing it, you know, of my own volition. I got my IV. I think I still have some bruising you can kind of see there. Good old hand IVs. And then I met, you know, the team of people who was going to be basically working on me. Met my surgeon's PA. I met 2 anesthesiologists. I met 2 nurses, I think. So there were a lot of people, like, involved in the whole process to make sure that everything was okay. One of the anesthesiologists who we have been consistently referring to as Perfect Nate was this very kind and beautiful man. I asked if he'd worked with my surgeon in the past, and he said he works with her pretty regularly, actually. And he's seen her and her PA work together, and they're like a single, like, machine. Like, they have it down to a science, which is always a really good thing to like hear from a third party, that they really know what they're doing and when to do it, and they have it really on lock. So yeah, I got into my room and we got the IV in me and we talked about that. Then the surgeon came in, Dr. Melissa Johnson, and she had me remove my gown and reveal my titty for the last time, and she, like, drew on them, which is, you know, what they do. She, like, measured, like, that each nipple was, like, the same distance from, like, my collarbone, and, like, it was by, like, a few centimeters, so that was pretty cool. Then after I talked to Melissa Johnson, I waited for a little bit, and then the anesthesiologist came in, did something, and then I started to feel something, and I said, "Did you put that relaxing drug in me that you said you were going to?" And he said, "Yep. How do you feel?" And I said, "Stupid." And I felt, like, really, really giddy, and like everything was really funny. I just, like, I don't remember everything, but I do distinctly remember, like, holding my IV up to my, like, eyes and, like, looking at the way the needle was going, like, under my skin and going, ooh, like, it was so stupid. But yeah, just be prepared. You're gonna feel stupid and good. Like, it's great that they give you that drug, because otherwise I would have been, like, super anxious, because right after that they rolled me into the operating room and I probably would have been like, oh my god, it's happening. But I didn't at all. I was just, like, I was in, like, a childlike state of, like, wonder at, you know, people moving around, and the last thing I remember is looking at the overhead light, and then I woke up. Like, it was just that immediate when I went under and woke up. So I don't remember anything. I don't remember time passing. I just woke up in another room that looked exactly like the room, my original room, and they told me that. They were like, "You're gonna wake up in a different room, but it's gonna look the same, so don't be, like, freaked out." And that was accurate. And the first thing I asked was, "Is it over?" And they said yes. And I said, "What time is it?" And they said it was like 3:30 or something. And I was like, whoa. Because, you know, last I checked it was 1. It took me a bit of time to wake up from the anesthesia. I kept trying to fall back asleep, and, you know, they kept having to, like, I don't know if they were trying to wake me up or if they were just kind of talking to me, but I had a little bit of trouble with breathing after. So that's, like, it's not the worst thing in the world. They have you hooked up to machines that monitor your oxygen levels, and I kept basically forgetting to breathe. Something to do with the way that when you're under anesthesia, the little tiny branches in your lungs kind of collapse, and you have to reinflate them so that you can get back into, like, the swing of breathing, I think, if I understand correctly. Something to do with that, the little thingy's collapsing. But I kept forgetting to breathe, and I wasn't taking deep enough breaths awake. And it didn't help because for some reason in my post-anesthesia haze, I really wanted to watch Trogdor, and then I forgot to breathe, and then my little oxygen alarm went off, and the nurse came rushing in, being like, "You're not breathing," and I'm like, "Trogdor, though." Early on in the day, I told them I did want to go home. I didn't want to stay the night, and everybody basically said, if it goes well, you can probably go home, if that's what you want. So I did kind of push for that, and everybody knew going into it that that's what I wanted to do, so they were trying to get me breathing and able to, be pushed out the door, essentially, which I'm sure they didn't mind, because then it's one less bed for them if they have, like, emergencies or something, which I was definitely not. So I left. I was able to go, and I went home and slept for like 4 days. Like I said, a lot of sleeping. And only until yesterday, I felt pretty okay. And I'm, for the most part, off Vicodin. I took some last night. But right now I'm just taking a very heavy dose of Tylenol, which is actually doing the trick. It's definitely a different kind of pain-killing feeling than Vicodin. Vicodin works very well. Tylenol, I still know I have pain, but I can kind of deal with it. So I'm gonna stand up and take my shirt off and show you what everything looks like right now, because it's not that exciting, but I figured people might want to see how Melissa Johnson does the post-op. So I'm gonna cut here. Ta-da! So this is the compression binder that you get sent home with. This is what I woke up wearing. Wrapped around here is a series of bandages, like gauze pads, kind of, and they wrap all the way around to where the drains come out. I think around here. Somewhere around here. And then the tubes run down outside the body, obviously. And just as a warning, I am going to stand up and show you. You're going to see the little bulbs hanging, the silicone bulbs or whatever they're made out of, with some red fluid in them. So just be aware, I'm going to show you that right now. This is what is being drained out of my chest. It is a bunch of fluids, and towards the end of the first week it turns yellow, which is a good sign, because the blood is separating from whatever rejected fluid that it's, flushing from my body and being sucked out with gravity and suction from the compressed tube or bulbs. And these get emptied once a day, and yeah, it's looking really good. I don't have a lot of fluid, and I haven't the whole time, which is pretty good. So with Melissa Johnson, with my surgery, I ended up wearing these. I'm wearing these for a week, and I'm getting them taken out tomorrow. Underneath this is I have these yellow bolsters on my nipples. A lot of people end up with them. They're kind of stitched onto the nipple to keep compression on the nipple, because from what I understand, it actually gets cut completely off and dies, sort of, and then they put the nipple back on and they just like sew it back onto your meat, and it, like, blood vessels come back up and make it alive again, which is really cool. I didn't know the body could do that. I mean, I guess that's what happens when, like, you cut your finger off or whatever, but that's what's going on. And then tomorrow, we're gonna see if they're alive. I have peeked. I am bad. You shouldn't peek, but I did. In that I took it off, and that I changed my dressings and, like, looked at it all and took a picture because I really wanted to see. But I had been, like, peeking as well, like pulling and looking, and it was looking really good, and it felt really good. And when I took the dressings off, it looked really, really good. But maybe don't do that. Probably best results is that you don't do that, because I have a really good healing body. Not everybody heals well. I don't know. But from what I could tell, underneath the little bolsters, I was seeing some pink skin, and not like black or brown or something. So, I mean, we'll see tomorrow what it really looks like, and I'll make another video, but it's looking really good. So that's the first week of post-op. If you have any questions about my surgery with Dr. Melissa Johnson specifically, please feel free to reach out, because I highly recommend her. Working with her has been perfect. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe and like, and feel free to ask me questions about transition. Bye.